everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into something really exciting, Amazon Web Services Cloud Quest Generative AI Practitioner. If you have been following me, you already know I've shared tons of videos, Cloud Practitioner and Solutions Architect Labs, so this is the perfect next step to level up our cloud skills. In this series, we are going to explore hands-on scenarios, fun tests, and practical exercises that will help you understand how to use AI in the cloud, all while we are having a bit of fun along the way. If you are ready to learn, play, and build your cloud skills, make sure you stick around and let's get started. In this lab, we are going to build and understand code with Amazon Q. Hi, I'm new to the publishing team and I have been asked to create an automated story generation system. I understand we will be using AWS, but I'm not sure where to start. Welcome aboard, I can help. I suggest we use AWS Lambda as our main function, Amazon Bedrock for AI story generation, Amazon DynamoDB to store story information, and Amazon S3 to store the actual stories. Are you familiar with these services? I'm somewhat familiar, but a walkthrough of the steps will be great. We will use a DynamoDB table to store information about each story, such as the story ID, title, and where it's stored. We will use an S3 bucket to store the completed stories. Got it. What's the next after reviewing these? Next, we will use Nova Pro, our AI story generator in Amazon Bedrock. Nova Pro is a powerful generative AI model that can provide creative, age-appropriate stories based on the inputs we provide. How do we connect everything together? We will write a Lambda function to coordinate these pieces. We can use Amazon SQ to help write the function code step by step. The function will first generate a story by using Amazon Bedrock, save the story text in the Amazon S3 bucket, and the details in DynamoDB table. That sounds complicated. How will we make sure it works? We will test each part as we build it. We will make sure it can generate a story and then check that it can store stories in Amazon S3. We will use Amazon Q to help write the code and ask to explain any complicated code we don't understand. Finally, we will verify it can save the story details to DynamoDB. What will the final system look like from a user perspective? After the system is completed, users can input requests such as create a children's story where the main character is a cat, and the system will automatically generate a unique story, store its details in DynamoDB, and save the story to the S3 bucket. Users can then quickly retrieve and share the story. That makes it much clearer. I am ready to create some really fun stories. Can you help me create an AI-powered story generation system? Let's accept the challenge and start. We will first start by checking S3 bucket. This is the story bucket that we can see. And check and open inside. And next we can go to DynamoDB. Let's open it in another tab. And this is the story bucket, the code that we are going to generate, and in case we need that, we can keep in our notepad. Let's copy, edit here. Now under DynamoDB, we can see our tables. This is the story table. And next we can go to Bedrock. Open it in another tab as well. Under Amazon Bedrock, we will review the model catalog and we are going to look for Nova Pro. Let's find Nova Pro. This is the model that we are going to use. Next service is Lambda. Under the Lambda functions, we see the storyteller. We need to make sure under configurations the timeout minimum 15 seconds. Let's check environment variables that we can see bucket name and table name is here. and we are going to test it now. Event save and go to the code. In the code, when we move down, we are going to see Amazon Q is enabled. If it's not enabled, then we can press and enable Amazon Q from here. But let's go to code line. Here, when we press enter, Amazon Q is generating. Let's try again. Enter. This is just a suggestion and we accept. We press tab to accept and then go to the next one. Enter. Amazon Q is going to generate the code and accept again. Let's, after the bucket name, let's press tab again. And we don't need the model ID in this tab, so I'm just going to go to the next step and press enter and tap accept, and that will be it. So let's go to define, enter, and accept by tap. Prepare the request payload. This is prepared already, and this might be DIY section. So that's it for now. We are going to rewrite from, then we will deploy. So just here, the story will be no more than 100 words, will be replaced by 500 words. And then the output needs to be JSON formatted. Now we can deploy. It's updated, deployed, and now we can test event. And it's printing, and now we can see the output here. I'm now going to copy the code. Until here, copy that, and I'm going to ask Amazon Q to explain me. Briefly explain. And pass the code. And it gave me the explanation. We can ask follow-up questions. Model invocation. Runtime API. Now we can go back and make the code full screen. And again run this one. Tap to accept. And it needs to match exactly if it is provided. If it's not matching, we can just replace and go to the next one. Let's deploy and test. It's giving me error, warning. Okay, I was not supposed to run the last code, so I just removed that, and now it's working. It's generating a story for me. Now we can continue with generating the title. That's making a little bit complicated. I'm not going to accept that one. It was just text, I think. Let's see. I will see if it's going to work. I'm testing. Enter here and accept tab. Create random characters. Enter and tap. Put the story in S3 bucket. Oops. Enter and accept. We can now deploy the story, deploy the code and test, and then we can check if it's generated. Test now. It's not showing the bucket name. Let's test again. Let me say the bucket. I needed to change the code, otherwise it's not giving me the body. So this is under parse response body, and this is what I need to change. Parse response body. Let me change this one. Oh, not here. So I played with the code because I closed the lab and came back again and didn't follow the instructions in the second time, but I got some ChatGPT help. And now I get the story saved S3 bucket, which I will be checking now. Story bucket. And this is the one that we just saved. And we can see if it's this is the one we are looking for right now. Open. Anyway, this is the story that we have, and now we will go to the DIY section, and under DynamoDB we will see if the story table has anything inside. Super item, 0 item counts. Now we need to make sure the database DynamoDB has the story recorded, and we are going to take the remaining code which I deleted and paste it. Some of the parts probably needed to be generated with Q, but I'm not going to risk it for now, so I'm just going to, if I delete it, it's going to give me another code. So let's deploy and see if it's going to work. So it's going to create a table with the table name created in S3, and then it will show records in DynamoDB table. I needed to check with ChatGPT, and we are now going to check if this was recorded there in DynamoDB. This is Bedrock. Let's refresh. I'm not sure if the code ran correctly, but because it didn't generate DynamoDB any counts, anything in the table, but the validation passed. So probably there needs to be some corrections in DynamoDB. Amazon Q is supposed to do that, but because I needed to close the lab and come back, so it was kind of a little bit of complications there, and I really hope it helps you solve this challenge. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out other playlists on my channel where I will share other generative AI labs, cloud practitioner and solutions architect labs. There is plenty more hands-on learning waiting for you, and if you are interested in vibe coding, automations and exploring all kinds of tech topics, stick around and hit that follow button so you don't miss any of the upcoming content. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!